This is the 20th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, Aftco, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. Not largemouth bass fishing today, but a form of bass, joined by Matt Stefan, second consecutive night. And if you didn't catch last night's show, you need to, because it kind of set the stage for what we're doing this week, why we're doing all the evening shows, the In-Fisherman Master Angler Challenge. And today, Matt Stefan, you like the chocolate milk that I made you?
We caught a lot of bass today.
We caught so many bass today. And we're going to get into it. There's actually going to be a video that will come out on Matt Stefan's YouTube channel. When is that going to come out?
The hope is tomorrow afternoon. We got a lot of footage that we got to edit in. It's going to be dude, we're going to be exhausted after these 4 days, because we literally just got back to your house. You whipped up a quick dinner. Like, we didn't, I mean, it's been fish all day, drive all day, get back to the house. Now we're doing this. We're going to edit videos after this. And then the plan is to get up early in the morning again to do it all over again. So yeah, we're hoping to have the video edited and ready to air on my channel at 4:00 tomorrow.
And it's going to be over an hour of fish catches.
I mean, right now there was 2.5 hours of fish catches.
So we were basically fighting fish for 2.5 hours today.
I think we had, if I had to guess, we had 15 doubles today.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, we only had 2 doubles of hybrid stripers, though?
Yeah, I think that's right.
We had like 3 or 4, but I broke one off. You broke one off. No, not on doubles. I know we lost a couple when we both had doubles on. Twice I had one on, and then you lost one. That was a big hybrid.
I think there were a couple of periods where we went like it was you caught one, you were unhooking, I hooked up. And I mean, we did that for 6 to 8 fish where you were either hooked up or I was hooked up in a row.
Yeah, it was
awesome, dude.
So
it was a blast.
Our target species today were hybrid striped bass, which had to be 26 inches released or 10 pounds kept.
Yep.
White bass, which had to be 18 inches or 3 pounds kept. And crappie, which had to be 2.25 pounds kept or 15 inches released.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we want to go about telling them what we did here?
I mean, why don't you tell them, just break the day down? What do we start with?
We can break the day down together.
Okay.
So the hybrid striper wasn't on my radar until last week when I fished the Bass Nation at Grand, and I've been hearing rumors. I'd been hearing some people at that tournament say, hey, man, like, caught some crazy hybrids. And I kind of told this story last night. And then on day 2 of the Bass Nation National Championship, roll into an area, pan out on the scope, and it's just chaos. And I couldn't even describe it. Like, I told you last night, I was like, it basically blacked the screen out with fish, and I drop a minnow down, and I thought it was a 9 to 10 pound in my, I didn't put it on a scale, a 9 to 10 pound hybrid, like a big, heavy, girthy, robust hybrid striped bass.
Yeah.
So we go right back to the spot this morning, dump the boat in, and you're still getting your rods and stuff ready. And I'm like, oh, there they are. And I flip a slab spoon over to it, and I'm like instantly on.
Yeah. I mean, that is how it went. I mean, we launched, raced to that spot. We had a storm coming, and I was setting cameras up, and you were already had drags screaming.
Yeah. And that's pretty much how it went the rest of the day.
I mean, I don't know how many fish we caught, but it was, I mean, our hands are going to hurt.
Yeah, like you can see on my thumb right there. Like that's a pretty large gash on the side of the thumb right there. The old gill plates. Like third cast, you drop down on you. Can we talk about what you were using? A mystery
prototype.
A prototype core tackle that there are 3 in existence.
Yes. Well,
like literally,
there's not 3 anymore. I was not prepared for that fish.
You had a large one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got owned.
Well, yeah, you had just dropped down with a big jig and spoon, heavier bait casting gear, and I was like, I'm gonna drop a minnow down on some lighter spinning gear, and he hit it right under the boat and instantly just power bombed me. And I mean, it was either I let go of the rod or he broke me off.
You went, oh no, rod buries completely under the boat. Fish was gone.
Yes.
Long story short, we boated probably over 15 hybrids today, or right around 15 hybrids.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Let's talk about size.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so the fish needed to be 26 inches or 10 pounds.
Right. To qualify for the Master Angler Award, to get the patch, I had, no joke, I had Thomas Allen from In-Fisherman on speed dial, and he may or may not be joining us later tonight to verify a Master Angler catch.
Yeah. And so the hybrids, though, every hybrid, like really quality fish. Like I can't say I've ever really gone after hybrids and fish. I have not either. This is the first time that I have ever gone out specifically targeting hybrid bass in my life. But if you're looking to catch good hybrid bass, and we looked this up on the drive home, like the average lifespan of a hybrid, I think, is 3 to 5 years, with the fish growing to 20 inches at 3 years, and then 2 inches, 2 pounds,
no,
2 inches,
2 inches,
2 inches every year after that. But they only live like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So like a really good quality hybrid is like
5 pounds.
Yeah, 5 pound,
3 to 5
fish,
pounds, right?
22 to 24 inches, and I think every one we caught today was at least 22 inches.
You had one that was under that we thought
I did have one.
We thought we had knocked that out early, but it had the broken bars on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would 100% agree.
Yeah, they're a blast, dude. Like I would go out again tomorrow and do it if we didn't have other plans.
We have other plans. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the show, but had to take a little bit of cover early as well, probably about 45 minutes into the day. Little lightning that was too close for comfort.
Rod
so
tips were zinging.
Had to slide into a boat slip there. I was amazed at the density of the bait in the area that we were at. It was, and you'll see this on the video that's going to drop 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Hopefully.
What does that mean? Hopefully.
Well, I got hours worth of work to do, and you want to leave at 2 a.m. So I don't know. I
still have hours of work to do too.
And hopefully your internet's working.
No, the internet should be rolling. Everything should be good. I have the Podomatic issues resolved as well. So following this show, the last 3 podcasts out on Podomatic, we're rocking and rolling. I had how many calls from Vive Broadband today?
We probably would have caught 3 more fish. You would have caught 3 more fish if it wasn't for phone calls.
They had the trucks out here. They said there was a lot of noise in the line.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that means.
I don't know that they actually know what the problem was.
They fixed it.
Supposedly.
So Aaron from Vive,
very nice guy.
Very good customer service at Vive. Yeah. Funny thing is, so, I worked with Jeffries for 13 years. And
why are you whispering now? Everyone knows that.
Am I whispering?
You went to a whisper. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
A little bit. You do that in the boat too, like you'd be talking and all of a sudden you were like, we're going to catch him right here. And I'm like, who are you whispering to?
Really?
Yeah. The fish don't hear you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I've heard Jeffries on multiple occasions go into customer mode. And when I called Vive yesterday, I said, or 2 days ago when this thing started again. I thought I'd had it fixed and I didn't. I said, I just want to let you guys know I got Starlink on speed dial. and then I went straight to the, I said, I said, listen, you're going to do step A, B, and C. So I'll need you to do step A, B, and C. And so that involves having a technique, that involves resetting my modem, that involves checking this, that involves having a guy come out and check my system and stuff. I was like, A, B, and C, not the problem. I said, D is the problem. I said, so you can skip A, B, and C, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow. So I need the fourth problem fixed because this is what it is. And they came out and they did it and then called and said, hey, man, should be good to go. So. Jerry, that's the In-Fisherman hat. The official In-Fisherman hat. Where were we? What were we talking about?
Quality of hybrids in Grand Lake. Legit.
Yeah. So the very first one we weighed, I think, was what? Right at 6 pounds?
Yeah, a little under.
A little under 5 something. That was probably one of the smallest ones we caught all day.
There was 20. I just looked at the video. 22 inches, just under 6 pounds.
And that was our second. You had one that was probably a 2.5, 3 pounder. And other than that, that was our smallest hybrid of the day.
Yeah.
And you were slab spooning them, and I was throwing a minnow on a real heavy jig head to get it down to them. Yeah. But they were moving fast.
I really don't know that bait choice was a huge thing.
I think it was because I think I caught more hybrids than you.
That could be true.
And you caught way more big white bass than me.
That actually could be the case. I just think having something that was heavy and that you could get to those fish, because they never stop moving.
No.
Like they were really, for as many fish as you'd see in a school, they were really difficult to stay on top of.
And you're going to see this in the video. Did I exaggerate how many fish were in these schools in this section of Grand?
No. I mean, when somebody's like, "Oh man, there's so many fish in this school," you're kind of like, "Okay, there was maybe 15 fish there, right?"
Yeah.
When we would hook up, the entire screen would become alive, and there was a couple of times where like you were hooked up and I was hooked up, and I would just pan around the boat. You could have cast anywhere around the boat and have hundreds and hundreds of hybrids and white bass around. Like it didn't matter where you cast, you were going to have 7 bites on that cast. Yeah. It was just unbelievable. But as fast as we'd be hooked up, all of a sudden they were gone.
Yeah. Matt asked how far away were they from where you found them last week? They were right literally where I had found them last week when we rolled up. But the cool thing was how we followed them probably half a mile.
Yeah.
We started in the back of the creek and then we worked it, and then literally just watching the bait, and that by the end you kind of knew, like when you started to see the signs that you were going to locate him again, like the bait would kind of show up high, then it would show up low, then the white bass would show up, like then it was popping. Yeah.
I would love to know from anglers that really target white bass and hybrids, if that's something that the fish do from a movement standpoint. Like overnight, do they push towards the back of the creeks, get a little shallower, and then as the day progresses, slide out to deeper water, more main lake stuff? Because it really was pretty evident to us, at least where we were at, that the fish were much further back early in the morning, and then the storm went through. And after that, like the sun eventually came out, and we just kept going deeper, and we kept also going more out towards the main lake.
Put them all back. I really debated bringing a couple.
You wanted a live well full of meat.
I really did, but just with the dynamics, we did fish a second lake after Grand. Just got home. It's 8:45 p.m. now on Wednesday night. We're leaving at 2 a.m. for Thursday's adventure, and it's going to be a crazy full day. So I'm really glad. I mean, we could have had our limit of hybrids with the 5 over 20. Well, every one we caught was over 20.
Yeah.
So we would have had 10 hybrids in one side, And as many white bass as he wanted to put in the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted nothing to do with cleaning fish.
Yeah, you made that clear,
Yeah.
which I'm glad you did, because
I couldn't believe you were considering it.
Why?
Because of the issue we have right now.
I know,
we don't
but
even have
in the
any
moment,
time.
you know how it is in the moment.
You just like the meat.
I do.
Yeah, you like to have some meat in the freezer.
Yes.
You made that very clear as well to me.
There's a dangerous soundbite in there.
You like the meat.
We're 17 minutes in. We'll get down to it. So the In-Fisherman for the hybrid striped bass is 26 inches in length, mouth closed up against a certified bump board with the tail. You brought, what is that bump board that you brought?
So that's the Muskie League that I'm part of. They if you're a member, they give you that bump board. So when you catch muskie on the Tuesday or Wednesday night league day that you're fishing, you take pictures of it on the board so you can see it. But it's a 60-inch ruler.
So it's legit.
Yeah.
We had, like, when I caught that one, like, it was the double, I believe. So I had to land it myself because
the biggest one we caught.
Yeah, because you were hooked up on another hybrid at the time. It was one of our hybrid doubles, and it kind of swam past the boat, and then it like did a little roll on its side, and that's when we both kind of got our attention.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was only 25 inches in length.
Yeah, it was an inch short.
So we, what did I say on the way home? When it came to the hybrids, we were accomplished anglers, but
not master anglers.
Yeah. So over on the hybrids. Now you want to go back?
Well, no, not necessarily. I want to go back to have fun. Here's the thing: when the average size fish that we are catching in that category was roughly 24 inches long,
yeah,
which is only 2 inches short of the master angler qualification. To me, like, again, I don't fish hybrids, so I really don't know. I guess maybe that's a relatively common size, but if you were to do the same sort of calculation and carry that over to, say, largemouth, where the master angler award is 10 pounds, well, if you take the 10-pound striper or 26-inch, a 24-inch is 10% smaller than that. So that's like catching 8-pound largemouths all day long. So I feel like those were really good hybrids. I'd love to know from viewers out there, if you had a lake that was full of 24-inch hybrids, would you be very happy with that? Like, is that the same as having a largemouth lake full of 6 to 8 pounders? They're just not 10s. Because I had a blast with that.
No, I had a great time. Now, did we set ourselves up for failure? Did I set us up for failure unknowingly based on the stocking schedule of the hybrids to where maybe we were fishing for the first year class of the beginning first year class, the most recent stocking that started in like 18 or 19 to where
we're 1 year short.
To where we're 1 year short because, dude, you would have thought that on a tee, they were all between 24 and 25 inches.
Yeah, they're beautiful fish. And it does make you wonder if that was just like that yearly stocking. Because I don't know that they've stocked since then. Well, they obviously probably have stocked something. But the point is, like, it was pretty clear that there was that year class. But having said that, all you need is a handful of fish. A handful of fish that had a little bit more of a healthy diet and therefore grew an extra inch. I mean, we were not far off. And on top of that, we went for hybrid, and we quickly found out we also had a shot at white bass.
Yeah, which I was not expecting either because it had been years. Now, I used to love fishing white bass, like every fall, little popper, twister tail, like that type of deal. But it had been years since I had just gotten on, like, where you went out and that was what you were catching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I forgot how much fun white bass fishing is.
Dude, the schools of white bass are like, there's like 400 fish in every school. So you throw out there and you might get 6 bites before you finally hook up. And the whole school just follows the fish you've hooked to the boat. I mean, it was pretty crazy to see it. But the quality of white bass, in my opinion, again, was fantastic. They were all like 14 to 16 inch fish, like really nice, healthy fish.
Yeah, we had a 16 1/4 inch. It needed to be no, we had a 16 3/4 inch fish. It needed to be 18 inches.
Yeah.
You had one that was we would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah,
we saw it. We would have liked to have had it.
Yeah, I went to boat swing him. He came off mid boat swing, and he was definitely the deepest bodied fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really get a great look at the length of the fish. So, I don't know. It could have been it. Honestly, with the width of the body, it may not even have been 18 inches, but it potentially could have been 3 pounds.
Doug, yes, a sand bass and a white bass are the same thing. Jacob, you pretty much spooned the whole time, and I pretty much minnowed the whole time. I think when you were kicking my butt on the spoon, especially when we got around those big whites, I picked up the spoon and caught a couple, and then you caught a couple on a minnow. But for the most part, I spinning rod with I wouldn't even say I was minnowing. I was basically using a 1/2 ounce or a 3/8 ounce ball head jig with a 1/0 hook in it and a 4-inch minnow, and just getting it down to them. How would you describe the way I was fishing it?
You were minnowing.
I was?
Yeah, I mean, you may not have been floating it quite as much as you needed to, but when there were 500 fish in the school around your bait, it was like just throw your bait in the school. Yeah,
that's true. Jake, we actually passed Keystone on the way to our next lake that we went to. I have not been able to I have not caught hybrids in Keystone for 8-10 years. I know they live in there. I know there's also true hybrids in Keystone, but I have not done that. So failure or success when it comes to the hybrid bass today, Matt? I'm conflicted on this. I'm curious to see what your answer is.
We failed the challenge. I was very satisfied with our day of fishing for hybrids. Like, I've never actually targeted hybrids, but they are a lot of fun. I mean, they're, when you're catching 7-pound fish that fight better than most other fish, I'm not complaining about that.
I feel like as bass anglers, we forget what it is like to have something on the other end of your line that you cannot control 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when you got around them, there were such numbers where it's totally different than fishing for largemouth and smallmouth and spotted bass. And we caught some of them today mixed in too.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it was a failure for the challenge. It was a really fun day of catching quality white bass and hybrids.
Yeah. If you're in the area, I mean, I would highly recommend heading out to Grand Lake, back halves of creeks. All you need is a 7/8 ounce or 5/8 ounce jigging spoon,
and find the bait.
The minnow, you just find the bait, and if you have forward facing sonar, you can see the schools of fish that are in and out. But in reality, you find the bait, you have a jigging spoon is what I would recommend, and you're just cast that thing around the bait, and you're going to catch fish.
Yeah, there were so many. When you found the bait, there were so many fish that you could fish blind and catch plenty of fish in a day's worth of fishing.
Yeah. So then from there, we were planning on hopefully being out of there by 10 and then jumping in the crappie bandwagon and jumping on the crappie train. But we ended up staying till 1:30.
Yeah.
We caught fish solid from 7 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. Yeah. There were maybe 3 or 4 little lulls, and that was it. Like where we just lost the biomass.
Yeah, it was nonstop, and quality was good enough to the point where we were like, you know what? Let's push it another hour. It was set. Hour.
The big one was what, 7.8 or 7.10?
Yeah, it was just under 8 pounds.
Just under 8 pounds.
I think, something like that.
Yeah, just shy of 8 pounds. So then we went to another lake that I know has big crappie in it. I was a little scared of this. It had been windy. We had less than an hour of sunlight. It was gassing. Water temp was still 60.
Yeah.
And We long rodded them, 14, 16-foot rods. What'd you think of those? What?
They did work well. It's a new concept to me. We do not long rod them up in Wisconsin, and I'm still questioned if they are as efficient as just other traditional crappie tactics. But you know, it was one of
allergies are killing.
I think today being a really windy day
was
part of the reason I didn't really like the really long rods.
No, and plus the fact that they were not positioned for long rodding them. She's still too warm.
Yeah, well, but we caught crappie.
Yeah, you caught
the right size.
Like a 12.5, 13-incher.
Yeah,
on the hover rig, and we caught some little ones. But we only did it for like an hour, so we did not catch a master angler crappie. So we are 0 for 3, Matt. We are 0 for 3.
We are 2 lakes, 0 for 3. We put a lot of miles on that truck today. It was a long day. We were
3 a.m. to it's 9 o'clock now, and I think I will get to bed around 11:30 or 12, and then we leave at 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about what we are going to do tomorrow. Answer some questions. It's BTL at night, day 1 of the In-Fisherman Master Angler Challenge with Matt Stefan. We'll be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Omnia Pro gives you the confidence to eliminate dead water on thousands of lakes across the U.S. Exclusively through Omnia, utilize our map layers containing critical real-time satellite information to see water temperature, water clarity, and important weather data all in one place, along with 1-foot contours for navionics and detailed CMAP social mapping. Matched with Omnia's industry-leading loyalty credit program on all your tackle and gear needs, this is the only app you need in your arsenal for success on the water.
Your early morning mentality is your every hour mentality. All gas, no brakes. Focus, purpose, power. Destined for the water, but confident everywhere else. A calming buzz before the storm, truth of nature itself. You can't catch lightning in a bottle. There's a limit out there, but it's not with your gear. Unrelenting power delivery. Unparalleled weight savings. Keeping you on the water, whether you run a 9.9 or outscoping your best 5. In this rare air, there's power in the silence. It's a mindset, thinking only of the things that matter and freeing your mind from the things that you trust.
Get the best patterns backed by tournament data. Start by finding the best 10% of your lake. Know exactly what to look for and what to throw. After that, just put them in the boat. Try the Deep Dive app today.
Look at that beast right there.
Everything you need, one legendary brand. Top on Strike King.
Gear that just plain works. Cast after cast Aftercast. AFTCO. Any fish, any water.
All right, welcome back. BTL on a Wednesday night. We're both pretty tired. I'm going to talk about what we're going to do tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
but before we do that, I do want to remind everybody, AFTCO is giving away a Reaper bundle. It's a 1 week promotional deal, so I'm talking about it every day.
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on, I even have a banner.
You
can enter for your chance to win an AFTCO Reaper bundle through the November 18th for BTL listeners. I'll have that link in the YouTube bio of the show, and then there's the link to, if you like screenshot that, you can type that in, but I'll put that direct link in the YouTube description. Are we going to talk about the gas station chicken fingers?
You really were impressed with, I shouldn't say impressed. You demanded we go to the woodshed to get chicken fingers because they were the best chicken fingers you've ever had.
Sorry, taking care of some business. Second best. Babe's Chicken in Fort Worth is the best.
It was a nice gas station. It was
delicious fried food. I had a half pound of gizzards and 3 chicken strips, chicken fingers.
How many gizzards are a half pound?
It says about a dozen gizzards.
That's not ideal eating.
Why is that not ideal eating?
You just looked like you were having a tough time chewing them over there.
They were fresh gizzards, so they were good, but they were on the tad, like some gizzards are chewier than others, and these were some chewy gizzards, but still delicious.
You often get chicken gizzards if they're on a menu.
Oh yeah,
like you can't pass that up.
It's not, it's
like cheese curds for me.
I mean, I didn't like when Court and I started dating. It wasn't like our first date. I was like down in a pound of gizzards. It's
How many dates does it take before you order the gizzards?
I would say at least 6 months. Like you got to be pretty locked in, unless you both
was
are
she
gizzard.
Was she waiting 6 months too to order the gizzards?
Unless you're both gizzard lovers, which she is repulsed by them with every fiber in her body.
Yeah. That's 6 months is good on that. You really got to know the person before you start pulling the gizzards out. I was pretty repulsed watching you eat them in the car while we were driving to the Crappie Lake.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, you were gnawing on those things like it was impressive.
I'm not a big fan of the texture of the chicken livers, Mike. The gizzard, though, has that kind of, it's a little bit meatier.
The gizzard
is meatier than the liver. The liver's got a very soft texture on the inside. The gizzard stays crunchy, some would say.
And just for the record, you actually were disappointed that they didn't have the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, I'll eat some deep fried calf fries every now and then.
Yeah,
and frog legs.
How many dates before you order that?
I'd say that's 6 months.
I feel like you could get away with ordering that sooner than 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit more of a.
You think it's better to eat the calf fries first instead of the gizzards.
I think if I was on a date, I could have a lot more fun with the date by ordering testicles versus ordering gizzards. Like, there's nothing funny about ordering gizzards.
What if you just like enjoy the taste?
It's just weird.
Oh. Apparently Court's on here. I did. No. I did get calf fries on one of our first dates.
See, I told you, because you think it's a funny. I could just see you ordering that because it's funny.
Calf fries.
How often do you eat those?
If they're on the menu and I'm in.
I don't think I've ever seen them on the menu.
And I'm in a situation where it would not put anything or anybody in jeopardy. Yeah, like if I'm trying to close like a business deal for BTL and it's the first time I've met the guy, I'm not like, yeah, give me a double order of bull nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean,
is that an Oklahoma thing?
It's a southern thing. So like in Stillwater, they have this thing called calf fry, which literally is a giant field where they just do a bunch of deep fried, thinly sliced Rocky Mountain oysters and listen to red dirt country music. I mean, it's, I haven't been in 15 years, but they still have it for those in their 20s.
Do they? So you keep calling them fries. Do they actually slice them like fries?
No, it's.
Or do they slice them like
think
paper
of it,
thin?
Think of it like you'd slice a hard-boiled egg. You just slice it thin, 1/8 inch.
Just you slice it with the egg thing one way.
Yeah,
not
like
two way. Well, if you're making egg salad, you take the egg, you put it in the slicer.
No. I said slicing a hard-boiled egg, not for the.
Well, that's a hard-boiled egg is what you use
your
for egg
wife's
salad.
on here too.
Oh, jeez. If we go to Texas tomorrow, are we going to be able to get any bull fries?
Calf fries.
Whatever.
Rocky Mountain oysters, calf fries. Vanita has a Brendan Hickerson says that Vanita has a calf fry every year too. We could probably make that happen.
I don't want any.
Yeah.
We're going to Texas.
They're on the menu everywhere in Texas, Matthew.
See? Like we could get some because we're going to Texas.
Is that the cue to slide into what we're doing tomorrow?
I'm off the bull nuts.
All right. I'm going to say this. Jig Squad said, we don't eat that hillbilly shit in the Windy City.
I think you'd have a really
I think
time
it's an
finding
acquired taste. I'm not an acquired taste, but I mean, I think it's classy.
Well, I mean, how did you try it the first time? Like, are you one of those guys that just tries anything?
Yeah. So like, I remember when I was younger, like if I could cook it, I would eat it. I would try it. Like I've always been that kid. So, I remember, God, I'll tell the story. So like when I was younger, like they had it in the supermarket, they've got like the chicken, the pork, and in the beef.
Bull nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally,
every grocery store has those.
You look at them and I wanted to try them. So my dad let me buy them and figured out, learned how to cook, looked up how to cook them, that whole 9 yards.
What do they cost?
I don't know. We did that one time.
Just thought maybe you'd buy them and make them at the house once in a while.
No. Okay. We could do that tomorrow
I'm
night.
not saying we're not going to be
Let's
home.
do it.
I'm not eating it.
Will you eat frog legs?
I'm not. Honestly, the frogs are disappearing rapidly from the planet. I'm not going to eat their legs.
Frogs are not disappearing rapidly.
Yes, they are. Look it up. They are a great indicator of environmental health. Are you Googling it?
Frogs, like crabs and other amphibians, are dying off at an alarming rate. It's estimated that 200 species of frogs have gone extinct since the 1970s. Many fear it is a harbinger of greater biodiversity loss that will come from birds, fish, and mammals too. Well, you know what fish isn't gonna
the hybrid
be dying off at an alarming rate?
Yeah. Stop eating those frog legs.
The hybrid stripers. We're going to Big Bass Lake in Texas tomorrow. It's a bit of a gamble. But it also has huge potential.
What does it say first if we can't even be master anglers of bass, largemouth?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
the whole trip could be made tomorrow.
Yeah, but if we fail, we'll look like failures within the sport.
I don't think we failed today.
Okay, we failed.
I don't think we failed.
We had a fun time failing.
But there wasn't really anything on the line except our pride.
I mean, there's a lot of people watching right now that have high expectations, especially.
I think we met those expectations based on what we did.
I know, but we both said we'd be able to manage like 10 Master Angler awards.
Okay.
One of the several
originally
podcasts.
we may have overshot.
I mean, we discussed today that if you were to do all 27 Master Angler Awards, it would be questionable if somebody could do it in a year.
I think it literally is like a lifetime goal.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going after largemouth tomorrow. What else do we have opportunities at? Some crappie? Could we get a big crappie?
Yes.
Would there be catfish there?
Yes.
Maybe a hybrid?
No.
White bass?
No.
Yellow perch? Probably not.
Not going to be yellow perch in Texas.
What about bluegill?
No. You don't understand up north. Like, you're up north where it's just bluegill this, bluegill that, shellcracker, red, like everything. You've got a lot of panfish.
Yes.
You have a lot of like grown, burly, bearded, manly men who love to catch bluegill and panfish and assorted things. Like, I go up to Minnesota every year ice fishing, and these are guys like you don't want to meet in a bar when they're having a bad attitude. But they will be out with 2-pound test, holding up a 9-inch bluegill, going, "Look at this dandy."
Just to be clear, when we were on the water today, holding 17-foot rods for crappie, I think, quote, you said, "This is my jam."
Oh, 100%.
Okay. There's not much
That's
difference
power fishing for crappie.
Between what we were doing today and catching giant.
Oh, there's
bluegill.
100. We were using 20-pound braid and
I mean
a 4-inch bait.
You could do that for bluegill
and setting the hook as hard as you can.
Are we going to succeed tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, I like it.
Yes.
So largemouth, 10 pounds, 24 inches.
Yes. Now we have a very good chance of being in a pickle where we catch a 10-pounder on a Bubba scale.
That's 23 and a half.
Yes.
Knock the sides
Is that
off.
a failure?
Knocking the sides off. We're achieving the award.
I will eat 6 helpings of Rocky Mountain oysters before I eat a 10-pound largemouth.
Well, let's see what happens. We'll have to make that call. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised you'd let anything go after letting everything go today. You were pretty upset not having any fish in that live well.
I already made a text to Juice, and I said, what did I say? Did I talk to him? Oh, he said, that looked fun. And I said, could have stuffed the live well. He said, I want to go sometime. And I said, yeah, it was insane. Definitely a meat haul we need to make.
Yeah.
Jody White, he said, eat that 10-pounder.
I mean, it's almost at the end of its life anyways.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And Brandon said, hey, it's out of state. Just eat them. We're not going to eat them.
If it's a 13-pounder, will we do Sherrilunker or let it go?
I don't know. What did the locals do there? Like, will we get crucified if we do a Sherrilunker on this lake?
I think you're starting to get it frowned a little bit on doing some of the Sherrilunker stuff.
I don't know. I know that Texas does a tremendous job with the Sherrilunker program.
I'm not knocking the program. I'm saying there's a lot of people out there that are not a fan of taking the fish out of the lake.
Is it that they're not a fan of taking the fish out of the lake, or is it that they're not a fan of the fact that when the Sherrilunker is caught, it's told what lake it is? Yeah,
it could be either or. But I like the idea of potentially doing it just from the standpoint of getting a replica made, because I think you get a replica, don't you? If you do you get a Sherrilunker.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think you get invited to like a deal at the end of the year and the whole 9 yards.
A banquet.
Banquet.
You love banquets.
When was the last banquet you
were? You are the king of banquets.
Why am I the king of banquets?
You love banquet. Every time I talk to you, you're at a banquet.
What?
You're a banquet. You're a banquet boy.
I'm a banquet beer guy.
Exactly. Well, you generally
wait, you just call me a banquet boy?
Yeah, that's your new nickname.
No,
I like it.
I like it. When was the last banquet? The last banquet you probably went to was the Thunderbolt Ball.
That wasn't a banquet. That was a ball.
What's the difference between a ball and a banquet?
A banquet is like you go there. There's like raffles. The ball was dress up.
There was no raffle
At the Thunderbolt Ball?
Yeah.
There probably was one, but I
yeah,
don't recall.
Exactly. So that you can't say that the difference is there's a raffle at one.
I'm pretty sure there was no raffle. Anyways,
there was or wasn't a raffle?
There was not a raffle. If there was, I was unaware of it.
God, this is cool with AI. This is the difference between a ball and a banquet. A ball is mainly for dancing and socializing.
Yeah.
While a banquet is a feast.
Yeah, if you were to have Rocky Mountain oysters, you'd have that at a banquet.
Gala, dinner, or more specific, a more regal, classy, or fancy feeling. Reception is usually like a meeting or gathering. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm tired. You got a lot of work to do. You have to edit your video. We're 47 minutes in. Thanks for sticking with us on this, guys. We love the feedback. Continue to do stories. And then, like I said, stay. Sarah said there was no raffle or dessert.
Yeah, she's upset about the dessert.
One
of many things Sarah's upset about with MLF. There was no dessert at the ball. It's just one of a few.
You think that was an oversight, or do you think they intentionally did not have dessert at the Thunderbolt Ball?
I mean, it probably had to do with the dessert costing a few extra bucks. I don't know.
Well, it's a ball.
But how do you have a big shindig with no dessert?
It was a ball. It wasn't a shindig.
Well, a big ball. It's a big ball with no dessert. Sarah gets upset when there's no dessert.
Okay. Well, she also gets upset if you don't get any sleep.
Yeah, she's yelling at me right now.
In a caring way, not in a...
She said I need to get more than 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and I'm sure Court's thinking the same thing. So that only means one thing. We're going to start the music.
We'll just drive through let's just leave now. Drive through the night.
I suggested
and
that.
then we got no sleep, which is fine.
I suggested that.
I know. Okay, let's roll.
We'll be back tomorrow night, I think. Hopefully. Hopefully with a 10-pound largemouth and a 2.25-pound crappie with a 24-inch largemouth and a 15-inch crappie and a 97-inch flathead or whatever it is.
That'd be nice.
Oh,
2-hander.
You know how hard that would be to land? We do have a net, so.
Not for a 97-inch flathead.
Jody White did point out that there was dessert at the Toyota Series Championship.
Thanks, Jody. Well,
Jody.
Well said, Jody.
Jody's on top of that stuff. That dude literally goes out. He catches Master Angler awards every single day.
Yeah.
Brown trout, small mouth, large mouth, like it doesn't matter.
Jody is
that dude just catches gigantic fish everywhere he goes. All right, guys. We'll let you know what time tomorrow. Like I said, it's a little bit of a drive, so we'll get it dialed in. You got anything else to add to this juggernaut of an episode?
We'll do better tomorrow. We apologize for the letdown, but it was fun.
Frank Scalish jump on tomorrow night.
Okay.
You know Frank?
Well, I know Frank. I don't know Frank.
You don't know Frank? Well, you're gonna get to know him.
Sounds like fun.
All right. See you tomorrow night. Later.